Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second Northern Jump Racing podcast with Neville King from the Always Trying Racing Syndicate. Thank you very much for coming along, spending 30 plus minutes of your time with me on a Sunday afternoon, Neville. Thank you very much. First of all, how are we? You okay?
Yeah, very good, Matt. Very good. Thank you for having me on today. Looking forward to having a chat with you.
Thank you very much. Always Trying Syndicate, quite a newish syndicate, started in 2023, I believe.
That's right. It sort of was born on the back of horse race ownership throughout the business, and sort of a venture just to get more people involved. So we started it, and it's October 2023, I think it was.
You had your first winner in Catterick 24. Could be trouble.
We did, yes. Expertly ridden by Abby McCain. Could be trouble. She is our sort of first horse, flagship horse. The micro shares, seriously good fun.
Nice. So how did you get into horse racing? I know you're a bit older than me, sorry. Have you always been into horse racing since young lad, or it's just like a recently passion of yours to come into racing syndicate, or just
as a kid, it was catching the bus to Doncaster racecourse, getting in for free with an adult. We had the family days at Market Raising on Boxing Day. My granddad used to take me to the bookies on a Saturday, and I used to stand outside. You know, a lot of my generation did the same sort of thing. So there's always been a keen interest in horse racing. But ownership, obviously, is another level on that. And that sort of only really came about after COVID.
Okay.
Throughout the business, as I said previously. So it's been a good journey to be on.
Like, how, in terms of racing syndicates and stuff, how do you go about setting up one? Because it's not like something like, oh, I've got an X amount of money, I'll just set one up and hopefully buy a decent horse for a decent price, and people will buy into it. Because it's probably a difficult process to set up, and you kind of like selling a product as well as selling a thing. Okay, right, got to buy into our business as well as. It's quite a difficult thing to do, isn't it? So how do you go about it?
Yeah, I mean, look, every syndicate will be different. Every syndicate will have different ideas. And obviously there's a lot of syndicates throughout last 12 months, 18 months that have sort of hit the wall and fell by the wayside. For me, it's you're looking for something. If you're selling a product, it's got to be, sort of palatable for the purchaser. And, Owners Group and Old Gold Racing, they've had it for years. They got in right at the inception, so they've got millions of members. As a smaller syndicate, I think you've just got to keep in your lane, keep things small, and then just grow from there. We've got a great group of members, that attend the races on a regular basis. They show support to myself and to the trainer and the jockey. So I think more love of the game than anything else, Matt, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I think it is very much. I mean, going down your route, like a small kid, is a love of horses, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's not about. Yes, winning comes hand in hand. It's great to win, but it is love of the horses, isn't it? It is the love of the jockeys, love of the trainers, and it's passion, isn't it? At the end of the day, for you guys, it's a passion.
Yes, and you want your members to experience that race day sort of experience, with owners and trainers badges. We'll have a meal, if you get into winner's circle, then,
that's
praise the Lord type thing, but getting to racecourse is the main thing.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's that experience meeting a jockey. I mean, I've met a few jockeys now, and they are really personable. Trainers are really great to talk to. It's one of these sports. I see horse racing. It is quite. Everybody's open. Everybody's honest. Everybody's quite happy to have a chat with you, and it is a great sport to get into.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I just picked up on there, I was blown away by the jockeys walking through the crowd, stopping to sign autographs, taking photos with little children. The trainer's always got time for you. You know, you don't really see these elite athletes. If it were footballers, they're protected by bodyguards and, you know, they ain't got time for anything. But the jockeys, you know, every single one at every single course has always got time for the spectators. And that's what makes it a pleasurable experience all the way around.
I get that from like Cartmel and when I've been up there with lad or go with Gaz, and it is just taking photos with the jockeys and just having a quick chat with like Jimmy Moffat and stuff like that. Just seeing different trainers. Spoke to like Rebecca Menzies and stuff like that. It's just that an extra 2-3 minutes. They don't need to do that, but they do it because they just know that you're passionate about it and they're passionate about it.
I find that they are very down to earth as well, and I think they understand that the members, the owners of the racehorses, essentially pay their bills. You know, we are their boss, effectively, aren't we? In certain circumstances,
it's that going old saying, isn't it? Without fans, but football's nothing.
Yeah,
without crowds,
absolutely.
Racing's nothing at the end of the day. I mean, look at COVID and stuff like that. It's crowds make it's the atmosphere as well, isn't it? It's the passion.
Yes.
You get the feel to it. But no, it's very much without the paying customer, without the paying interest and stuff like that. Sports nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, we had our first winner when you just mentioned COVID there. Before the syndicate, we purchased a horse. I do so for retail, so we purchased a horse throughout the business, sponsorship type thing. It had always been a bit of a passion to own a racehorse, so it seemed a good idea. And we went to Ayr with Could Be Trouble, and it was literally 2 days after lockdown ended, but there were no crowds, or there were about 12 people there. And Brian Hughes rode as first winner, you know, in ownership on his very first ride. But you know, since then you get the crowd cheering your horse. You stood with the crowd and they're cheering your horse on or your jockey on it. You know, it makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up sometimes.
It's kind of like supporting this. It's like supporting your team, isn't it? It's kind of like
exactly. Yeah.
It's kind of like a small team winning all together, and everybody's won as well because you know people.
Yes.
And stuff like that. It's that, that's a great feeling to have as well.
You can't replicate it.
No, you can't. You can probably speak to anyone on the street. It's like just drink it in, just you know what I mean, just bottle it up. You'll never feel that experience again and stuff like that.
Absolutely,
it's a unique feeling, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
It's a unique feeling. So you go about purchasing it. So how do you purchase a horse then? So how do you go? I know there's Goff sales and stuff like this, sales in Ireland and stuff like that. Doncaster has a sale, doesn't it? Aintree has a sale. Cheltenham has a sale.
Yeah. So I mean, look
about it.
Your first horse probably would be different to, you know, what we're doing now further down the line, because what I did originally was just had a look through trainers that were sort of in my vicinity, and I picked Donald McCain. And I gave Donald a call one evening, and we had a good 20-minute chat. And he explained certain things because, you know, we want him to buy a Grand National winner, or, you know, and name this horse. And he sort of go back to square one, Nev. And what you need to do is get a horse to go racing, and anything after that's a bonus. So the trainer puts the feelers out for us. They've got connections up and down country in Ireland, so on and so forth. And then Could Be Trouble sort of presented herself to us. So that's how we purchased our very first horse. Since then, obviously, Goff's is the sales at Doncaster, and you've got Tattersalls online, Cheltenham, and so on and so forth. If we are looking to purchase now, then we kind of give Donald a list and a budget and say, these are what we would like. we tend to come back with something totally different, and Donald will be laughing at this because Donald has a better eye than me, and obviously he's been at game a lot longer than me, so I trust his judgment 100%. And he'll just phone me up and say, Nev, I've got the perfect horse for your syndicate. This is what it is. This is how much it is. If you're interested, it's yours. If not, then obviously we move on to something else. So it's quite a simple process, really.
Okay, so it's not as difficult as like, okay, I need to buy a horse. So I've got X amount. Well, you got X amount of money. It's good. Other people may be interested in stuff like that. So
yeah, sometimes you do get that where you are bidding against other people, but 9 times out of 10, if you've got your eye on one, you can get the one that you want.
So, sounds like how do you have to sell it? Do you have to market the horse before? Say if you're looking at a horse, say could be trouble. Do you have to market it before saying, okay, I need to sell these shares before I buy it, or do you think, okay, I've got to win some
again? That is a really slippery slope to do that, because if you start marketing shares and you don't end up with the horse, then obviously. So no, basically you're buying the horse first, and then from that very first day. Such as ourselves now, we've got 180 members. We've probably got capacity for around 350 members. Okay, so we've sort of 50% sold in his first 18 months. And a lot of my members will buy into multiple horses. So I know pretty much if I went and bought an horse today, I've probably got as many as 80 members or 100 members that will renew into this new horse. Then obviously you market from there and you try and just grow from that, really, Matt.
Nice one. So would you consider, like, I don't know, how many horses you got now? 3 or 4?
It's 3 in training, yes. So we have one that's actually in foal at the moment that's not racing. So 4 under the syndicate banner, 3 are actually in training on the track.
So what's going to be like the future for Always Trying the Syndicate? So what's your aim? I don't know, in the next 12 months to the next 5 years. What are you hoping to like achieve? What's your goal?
It's fairly fluid, Matt, to be honest, because the BHA have just brought out this licensing thing. So syndicates now have to have a license. Okay. So you've got to provide cash flow forecast, bank statements, business plans. A lot of syndicates have gone under, unfortunately, because anybody that thinks a syndicate owner charges memberships and makes money, they're mistaken for the most part, especially with new syndicates. So come next year, we're going to sort of run into next year with the 3 horses that we've got, and potentially look at another one, maybe on the flat with Julie Camacho again. We had a bit of an experience with Julie last year where sadly one of our horses passed away. So we kind of parked that, but we might revisit that next year. And we kind of want to grow the syndicate to that 380 members, 400 members, where we can monitor everybody. Most people will get tickets to race days. We can run up and down the country to give everybody that experience of ownership. And look, who knows? We've had runners at Cheltenham, not at the festival, granted, but we've run at Cheltenham a couple of times. We've run at Aintree. We've run on TV. We've kind of ticked a lot of boxes already.
That's a short space of time then. In 2 years, I mean, to get a Cheltenham, I know it's not Cheltenham Festival horse, but to get a Cheltenham horse to go to Cheltenham, quite a big thing within itself.
Twice. Yeah, I mean, Could Be Trouble's a dream horse for any owner. She gives her all every single time. 7-time winning mare. She's won over chasers, she's won over hurdles, she's won over various different distances, various different grounds. So to have that as your first horse would be sort of an incredible slice of luck. And it just kind of pans from there, what is the aspirations for a syndicate? And I suppose that's the same for owners and trainers and what do we want to do? I just love racing, Matt, to be honest. So if we get to the Grand National Festival, In fact, Could Be Trouble did run at the Scottish Grand National Festival.
That's pretty big in itself.
Yeah, the experience is just something else,
Yeah.
So look, Aintree Festival, Cheltenham Festival, they're all on the bucket list, but we're just happy to come back safe most times,
Yeah, I think that's sort of like another point as well. It's making sure the jockey's safe, the horse is safe as well. So again, that's probably another tick box at the end of the day for a day at the race. As long as the horses are safe, 100% safe, and the jockeys are safe, it's kind of like everybody's a winner as well.
Yes.
Especially in jump racing, it's kind of like not many sports, not many. They always say like jockeys. I mean, what sport has 2 ambulances follow them?
Yeah,
zero, isn't it? So it's a unique sport within itself. But going back to like the BHA and stuff like that, I'm going to point probably a bit of a topic what's probably in the media now. Like, are you concerned about the potential tax rises in November if it does happen with like the ownership and stuff like that?
Absolutely. I think any owner, I mean, we can probably, sort of exclude the elite who have worked tirelessly to put racing on the map. But for smaller owners, syndicates, you've got a few problems realistically. And in business, everybody's suffering the same thing where the minimum wage goes up, which means the training fees go up, but you can't put your syndicate membership fees up because your members are suffering elsewhere at home. Their gas and electric's going up, so suddenly they can't afford to go racing. So to sort of bridge that gap, you look for more members, and that's the only way you can really do it.
Yeah.
But you look at prize money and stuff like that, and we're looking at races at, Newton Abbott, for instance, and it's £3,000 for winner, and it's going to cost £1,000 to get there.
That's not guaranteed you're going to win. It's kind of like, okay, it's going to cost £1,000, but you may not. It's kind of like you may not win. So it's kind of like you're £1,000 out of pocket before you even set off. It's like stepping out the door.
Yeah. It's cheaper to have a week in Tenerife,
It's a weird thing. It's like this potential tax rise. It's going to knock on effects for everyone. You've got trainers. You got trainers fees, like you said, trainers fees, jockey fees. You got farriers. You've got the feed people. You've got vets. You've got everything. You've got racecourse. You've got hospitality and stuff like that. It's massive. Going to be a massive knock-on effect if it does go up. It's going to affect everyone. It's not going to just affect. It's going to affect the owners. It's going to affect everyone.
It's not just one single thing either, Matt. It's not just tax rises going up. It's the entry fees are going up. Your training fees are going up. But like I say, that's the same for everybody. So I don't have a solution. I can't really say here's what we should do because I don't really know what the answer is.
I think no one knows what the answer is. I mean, that's the most concerning thing. I mean, hopefully, if it doesn't go through, everybody needs to get sat around the table and just thrash out ideas, or like BHA or stuff like that. They sit around the table with everyone and say, look, this is what we need to do going forward because we've got a great product. At the end of the day, second most watched spectator sport in the country. It's a great sport. It's a sport of kings. We really need to sell it better.
Yeah. So this is my thing. Obviously, it's second spectator sport in UK. The revenue that it generates in, sort of income, staff, everything else that's sort of evolved with it. But there seems to be like the waging war on horse racing in particular.
Yeah.
Obviously the tax thing. And then, I mean, everybody that's watching this now, maybe a punter, we've all had this, sort of affordability check where online betting accounts have stopped people from gambling. I can't name who the bookmaker is, but at the time I had 5 racehorses in training and they told me that I couldn't afford to gamble, which I found like morbidly curious, so it's kind of, you've got this tax thing, but, and I don't understand it because like gaming machines or lottery. I can walk into a bookmakers and put 500 quid into a bandit, and nobody will bat an eyelid. But as soon as I put £500 on my online account, somebody's going nuts somewhere saying, "Oh, where's he getting this money from?" I can't fathom the reason. It's like, well, you can either gamble or you can't. I don't understand.
There's no reason I can go into a shop or go and shop and spend £100 on lottery tickets or
lottery tickets. Yeah,
it's a mental. But if you want, like, say, you want £500 on a horse, your own horse, it's kind of like, where's the money coming from? You treat it like a criminal. At the end of the day,
it's bizarre.
But you can afford 5 racehorses. It's mental. It just doesn't make sense at all. And it's somebody's making these rules, and they don't actually understand the industry, I don't think, or how it works. I think the betting thing should really be on a credit score. Just like if you were getting a loan, I think there should be some form of credit score where, obviously if you're paying your bills, you can afford to have a bet at a weekend or whenever you want to have a bet. But obviously if you're not paying your bills, then you shouldn't be betting, should you? No. If you can't afford your mortgage and stuff like that, you shouldn't be really betting.
Correct.
No, it's like it's pushing a lot of people to the black market, and it's kind of like, well, that takes away tax away from the sport and stuff like that. It's kind of like you're pushing more people away from the sport, then it's going to be less funded. So it's
absolutely.
It's going to be less populated, so it'll be less prize money. It's again a knock-on effect for everyone else.
Yeah,
indeed. People, you tax more, then at the end of the day, the government are going to have less tax coming in, so it's the levy is going to be worse. So, but I'd love to say, okay, like you said before, great, I've got an idea, run with it. It's kind of like people need to sit around the table, head of BHA, head of whoever, head of race courses. It's just, and thrash out ideas, basically. I've come up with an idea and said, let's run with it.
Yeah. And I think, the racing industry itself could sort of nominate 5 or 6 people to say, we're willing to sit down and sort of explain our side, or, and don't do it in media, because, things just get a bit messy when they do it all in media. But something has to change. I think everybody understands that something's got to change.
I mean, I've always thought, like, I said it on a tweet to someone last week. I was like, you could have no racing on a Monday, potentially, because less is more. I know it sounds weird, but could you have less racing? So I don't know. So when racing does come back on a Tuesday, people may want it more, but we just don't. You know what I mean? We just don't know.
It's kind of one of them where I think the less is more argument, I think that would be a 50-50 split, to be perfectly honest. I know there's trainers that sort of don't like summer jumps racing. I know there's trainers that sort of thrive in summer jumps racing. Courses like Cartmel would never get a meeting if it weren't for their bank holiday meetings and stuff, and and it's a nice spectacle there. Horses' safety clearly has to be, fundamentally at the forefront of every decision that we make. But I don't think we have to look very far, at prize money in Ireland and France, and it sort of is, 150% more than ours. And we should really be saying, what are they doing that we're not?
Yeah.
And sort of take it from there, really, Matt,
I mean, Ireland don't race every day, do they? No, so kind of like that's where my argument comes in. It's like, do we need to race on the Monday sometimes? Maybe not. Maybe we need to have less race on a Sunday or something like that. It's you know what I mean? Is have a Monday a day off for certain people? You know what I mean? Or Tuesday.
But don't forget, Ireland's not as big as England, so there's not as many courses to run up and down. If they were racing every day, they'd be in the same position where it's 4 runners at this race and 2 runners at that race. Certainly in summer, I think there is an argument to say 1 day's less racing, but have more races on the day. So you have a 9 race card or a 10 race card. That'd certainly work in flat racing. I'm not quite sure it'd work in the summer jumps racing, but again, that's just an idea that sort of comes across as a bit of one that I might have thought have been banded around, but
just don't know. I mean, on the plus side, on the BHA have come out last week, isn't it, about the Go North finals and stuff like that. Prize money is increasing then to like £40,000, which is great. Then increasing to, I think, 47 the year after, then up to 50 in 2028. So that's kind of like a positive out of that. But it's kind of like, I think we need more positives soon coming for horse racing soon, because it is, with this blanket until November, it's a massive uncertainty for everyone up and down the country, isn't it? Not just Northern racing. It is. It's kind of like we just need to know what's going to happen for everyone. So
indeed.
It's quite concerning, but hopefully positives will come out of it. But no.
Well, we're loyal members, aren't we? Really. So whatever happens, we're still going to keep slugging away.
It's
and just sort of evolve. I mean, that's all we can do.
I think luckily they're not taxing it on the race course bookmakers as well, because I was concerned about that as working for an on-course bookmaker during the summer. I was like, oh, could we be in trouble? You know what I mean? It's kind of concerning. It's concerning for them and concerning for everyone else. It's kind of like, oh, I might lose my potential little bit of income coming through that. It's kind of like, and people who work for Tony and Neil, it's like they're going to lose their potential income. You know what I mean? Again, you think about other people, you think about people's well-being, mental well-being as well. It's kind of like concerning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, livelihoods, people's livelihoods. Right from yourself, right down in it. Yeah,
it's just everyone. But no, probably coming to the end, Neville. Your favourite racetrack in the north?
Oh God, tough one. So I have a favourite course for food, which is Bangor. Okay. I think the staff at Bangor really do look after you. It's an amazing setup what they've got there. But my favourite course, really, for experience, I'm gonna say Ayr. And there's not wrong with the food at Ayr, by the way. It's lovely. We had his first winner there, and it's such a nice historic course with a lot of stuff going off there, and I've really enjoyed my visits up to Ayr. So I would say Bangor food, Ayr for experience.
But Ayr's not. But Ayr's all right for food as well. So
absolutely, yeah.
Scottish cuisine. Yeah. One thing to change in racing, what would you do?
Do you know, I don't really think, I don't think that way. I'm sure there'll be people screaming saying, oh, this is obvious, that's obvious. But I think whatever it is, I think you just have to get on with it, don't you, really? So I couldn't really say, there's one certain thing that I would say, right, we need to change that. So I'm quite happy with the way things are, obviously excluding monetary reasons, but no, very good question, that really.
Quite maybe an obvious question. Dream race to win as a racing syndicate. I know there's the Grand National and the Gold Cup, but what would be dream race to win?
Yeah, so obviously Grand National would be the one that you want to do, but I've always sort of said I'd love to win the Red Rum Chase. Having the winner trained by Donald McCain would be sort of brilliant for me. But the race that I grew up on was the Great Yorkshire Chase at Doncaster.
Oh, it's Doncaster.
Doncaster, yeah. So, that'd be one that I would really be keen to sort of get, my hands on that trophy. Because that was my local course growing up as a kid, you see.
I know you sent me a message before, the 5 horses. Is it 5 horses you're going to give to the listeners from the Donald McCain yard? What
yes.
Are they and why?
Well, obviously, I think Donald, by his own admission last season, were, sort of very quiet for the most part. but he was very busy in the spring sales this year.
Yeah, he did mention that on RTV, didn't he? At Cartmel, he did. He did it.
Yeah, I think he said something. Yeah, after having a winner. Yeah. So he sort of has a very good owner that supports him, Jimmy Fife, and he's purchased Hadex de Zobo, which a couple of years ago were looking like a listed, graded chase sort of animal, but he has been injured for a while. So I would certainly put him at top of my list. And he bought a nice one called King de Brive from Point to Pointers. There's good vibes coming from that. For the other syndicate owners group, Maximilian, we all know he's got ability, but he has been a bit on and off the track. And if they can get him fit, then I do think he will kick on again this year. Another one that I'm looking forward to seeing is called I See You in My Dreams. Really exciting prospect, unraced in the UK. And then the one, and I know Brian Hughes really likes this horse, is called Count of Vendôme. I think it run at Cheltenham in a bumper last year. So obviously when that one goes hurdling, I think that'll be one to watch. And obviously my horses as well, Matt. They're always worth a few quid.
Can you name? You can name them all, but can you put them like, I don't know? It's probably your chance to sell your syndicate to the listeners, and why should people buy into your syndicate and stuff like that?
Okay, yeah. Look, I mean, syndicate ownership, we kind of try and cater for everybody. So we have the micro shares at £59 per year in Could Be Trouble. She will take you to, the Cheltenham, the Aintree, Market Raiser. She'll run her heart out every single time. You'll have a lot of fun, and she'll get prize money more often than not. And then we've got a French horse called Jipikar Machin. And we bought him and we put him in a field for a bit so he could grow. And he beat a horse called Churchill Lad on debut a couple of years ago. Clearly has ability. And we charge £65 a month for that one. Yeah. But that's a 2.5% share. He just made his chasing debut last week. Really pleasing debut. And then the big one, which we got from the sales this in May, is actually a listed chase winner we bought from Ireland called Whiskey Wealth. And we do 10% shares in that one, £299 a month. But he will be aimed at obviously the higher class races and the big money races. We're hoping to get to the Kelso finals with that one, sort of March, April next year. Hopefully, he may run at Market Raisin on the 27th, or I think we're looking at Southall on the 2nd of October.
So a lot of different varies of prices for everyone.
Something for everybody, which is what we try and do. Yeah.
Really positive for that, I think, for a syndicate, and what you're doing, I think, is very from the low level to kind of high end-ish.
Yeah.
Kind of like ownership. It's kind of like, I think it's really good that what you're doing as well. I think it's really important for you guys. But no.
Yeah, thank you.
No, Neville, thank you very much for your time.
Been a pleasure.
And you just your time. It's again, I think it's really important to support everyone within the sport, from your syndicate to what I'm hopefully trying to support, the Northern jump racing scene. It's just saying, if everybody gets together to support it, it's going to be a better place. But Neville, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy your rest.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, Matt.
No worries. Thank you, Neville.
Thank you.